Welcome back to Headliners. It's your first look at Saturday's papers. I'm still here with Kogan and Wetton. But we're going to begin this section with Saturday's Metro. The government is stepping in to show businesses how to run a business. Jolly good.
Yes, that's what we want. We want government running our business for us. So government dismisses claims that workers could have right to 4-day work week. So, first of all, that's quite a good thing because I'm quite happy working 3 days a week. 4 days sounds
Yeah, you don't do more than 3 on principle.
On principle, attention span, I'm not welcome. You know,
No.
I really have to fight for the time I get on here. I book it. So, rumours have been swirling around a potential change to UK employment rights, but Labour government has denied that employees could soon be able to request a 4-day week from their first day. So, currently employees can request, they call it flexible hours, as soon as they start at a company, but employers are not legally obliged to say, yeah, they can just be like, no.
Well, I would have thought so. I mean, if you advertise a job, then surely you could just decide this is a 5-day-week job. If you don't want that, bye-bye.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
What do you think, Cressida?
Well, yeah, the idea that you've got a right to ask. I mean, I suppose, yeah, you could ask for anything, can't you?
Yeah.
You can ask for £1 million.
Exactly. Doesn't mean you're going to get it.
No.
I find this very frustrating. As soon as governments start telling people how to run businesses, I just think, what a bizarre situation.
Yeah.
And they're talking about creating the right conditions for growth. It's like, what do you think the average business owner spends all their time trying to do?
Yeah.
They've probably thought about it before, and they've probably come to the conclusion that this is how their business runs best. And they probably know that.
Yes.
So I find this very frustrating.
Yes, but of course Keir Starmer knows best, and his
does,
dad was a
doesn't he?
toolmaker. So that's why he knows best. What did his mum do?
I think she was a go-go dancer. I think she's in Pam's People. I
Oh,
can't...
she was in Pan's People. Yes,
Yeah.
of course she was.
Yeah.
So he knows about this stuff because they were ruthless businesswomen.
They really were, and they did a lot of compressed time, whatever it was called. But when you compress time into an overall shorter space, so instead of doing 5 days a week, you do 10 hours. Something.
Well,
what
you know,
do we do here?
there is actually research that suggests that people are more productive if they work 4 days a week rather than 5.
I believe that.
There was research, I think it was in Australia, and what happened there is they actually gave people the same amount of work,
Yeah.
but just in a fraction of the time, 4 days rather than 5. Turned out they did more.
Oh, there's great.
Well, that's
there's
great.
reasons
And
for it,
business
but-
owners can read that information and
Yes.
make a decision.
Right, there we go.
I just don't like the government getting involved.
I think you can keep going down that route until I think you'll find out that 3 days
Yeah.
and 1 and maybe do no work at all.
Didn't they do that in the 70s?
There was a
They
lot of
did.
that going on.
did.
Yes. OK, we're going to move on to the Daily Mail now. And who's got this story? Because I've no
Neil.
idea what it's about. What's this one?
Record numbers of migrants living in Britain are jobless, with more than 1.6 million unemployed or economically inactive people, costing taxpayers an estimated £8 billion.
This is a very Daily Mail article,
It's
isn't
very
it?
Daily Mail, and it's so high. 1.6 million. The country's only 67 million. That can't... I mean, I guess, I don't know. According to the Office of National Statistics, it's true.
But I don't understand. It's saying they're not looking for work.
Well,
I thought
that's
these
the
were
claim.
predominantly... We're not talking here about asylum seekers. We're
No.
talking here about economic migrants.
Migrants.
Well, if I'm an economic migrant, one of the things I'm going to do, my priority is probably going to be looking for work because I'm there for the dosh, aren't I?
Well, I suppose the implication is the benefit system's so good you don't have to go out to work.
Do they have to speak like that once
Yes,
they arrive?
they do,
Is
Andrew.
that
Those
part
are
of
the
it?
rules.
Oh, OK.
I think
Kogan.
they prefer the technical term bachelor of the job market. It's a sort of more softer approach. But, yeah, it seems like it's costing a lot, 20.3 billion a year. That's the cost of supporting the people who are choosing not to work. And you know what? I get it.
I know you get it, because you're, notoriously indolent.
Yes, I am incontinent. But, yeah, no, look, it's a thing. I think Starmer and the Labour Party have undone a fair bit of legislation that was was trying to be put through by the Tories before they got defeated. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think they just,
There must be a better system, though, right? I mean, if we could talk about, doesn't Australia have, a point system where, you get in if you've got good job prospects and you can put something back into society and,
Yes,
know...
we can go for a bit and then you have to leave. I did that. And you can stay for a bit longer if you do some work they don't want to do on the farms.
Oh, right, OK. Did you arrive on a small boat?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I had a plane ticket and everything.
Oh, so you did. You were...
50-foot yacht.
Yeah, it's slightly different. OK, we're going to move on now to this story. This is about two-tier healthcare. What's this all about?
So the NHS has 2 tiers, slow and very slow. So Jess Phillips suggests she received quicker NHS treatment because she voted for Gaza ceasefire. Interesting.
Right, no, wait. She was giving a talk, wasn't she, at some festival?
Right.
This
It was
is in
an
the
evening with Jess Phillips.
And that sounds like
Just
the worst
an
show ever. But on, did she tell that story? Does she do songs?
I have
Does she
no
do that
idea.
Kate
I
Winslet
wasn't there,
number?
but I would love to hear the way she said this. I've been thinking about that all day. I want to hear the tone of voice.
Exactly.
What on earth is she getting at? Is she saying this is a good... I don't know what her point is. I mean, if this is really what she thinks, she should have said to her blue lips, that's not OK, we can't have a two-tiered system.
Yeah, why is she pushing in and admitting it?
Well, exactly, but
wait a minute. Let's be absolutely clear about this.
The doctor didn't say
We don't
it.
know what she said. So the way this is reported is that Jess Phillips said when she had to go into hospital, they recognised her because she's so famous, as we all know.
Yeah.
And the doctor would say, "Oh, I'm Palestinian. You voted against, the war in Gaza, whatever it was, and therefore the ceasefire, and therefore I'm going to give you treatment quicker." Right now. I have to say, in the article, the last line is, a source close to Miss Phillips said, this is nonsense and doesn't reflect what she actually said. In other words, maybe she didn't say it at all. I'd like to hear the recording before making a judgment, because I don't trust this. Because, I've been misquoted from shows that I've done, and sometimes quoted accurately, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Kogan, do you think we should cut her a bit of slack here? Because we don't actually know what she said.
No, I think what's happened here is this is kind of like when, you're a guy and a random girl asks you for directions and you assume it's because she's hot for you and you just think that, and that's what's happened. She thinks that this guy's like giving her preferential treatment. Where it's just...
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think...
If it were the case that a doctor was giving preferential treatment to someone because of their politics, would you not support that?
Depends if it benefited me or not directly.
Well, there we go. Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Cressida? I mean, that would be outrageous, wouldn't it?
Of course it would. What I think really probably happened, without any evidence, is that her point is that I think she's trying to say, look at the state of the NHS. I was lucky. I only got through because I had these special circumstances.
Right.
And possibly she hasn't thought through how it's going to look when it's printed in the Telegraph.
OK. Very interesting. But I think I'm going to stick by, we don't really know, and I want to see the recording. I want to know before we make any judgment, because I don't trust the reporting. We're going to move on to the I. Now, this is Esther McVeigh and a tweet that has ruffled a few feathers.
Esther McVeigh stands by post which compared smoking ban to the Holocaust.
It's not quite what she did, is it?
No.
I mean, I think that headline is kind of stretching it a little bit.
Absolutely. So it was an analogy. She said, first we know that the famous poem, first they came for the communists and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the Jews and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me and there was no one left to speak out for me. And she then added, pertinent words re Starmer's smoking ban. Yeah,
so I think this is obviously a very famous poem which is about the way in which, minorities are discriminated against, particularly Jewish minorities. But, what I would say this is really, really gauche. That's what I think it is. It's just a really sort of blundering... I know the point she's trying to make, which is about creeping authoritarianism. It starts small and it gets big, right? Yes. She's not saying the smoking ban is as bad as Auschwitz.
Of course.
And that is the way that people seem to be deliberately misinterpreting it.
Oh, absolutely.
She just said something a bit gauche and stupid.
Yeah, it was sort of an ill-considered analogy, if you like.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, she is not comparing those two things. She's just, as you say, just saying, there's, a creeping encroachment from an authoritarian government. And
so why does that headline in that newspaper say that she's compared the smoking ban to the Holocaust?
Because it gets clicks and now we're talking about it.
Well, according to this writer, Hen Mazig, has responded to her tweet by saying a member of the British Parliament, she isn't, equates... no, she is now, isn't she?
Yes.
Sorry, right, equates a ban on smoking to a genocide of Jews.
That's absolutely didn't happen.
And of course, in her response, she's very strong. She's not having it, and she says no equivalence was being suggested.
Yeah, well, it's not really a story, is it? As far as people say stupid stuff on Twitter, I do think it's a really inelegant comparison. Bringing that poem in, I think it's but so what? So what?
Well, exactly.
In solidarity with the Jewish people, though, she has now changed her name to Esther Oive. So
good for her. OK, well, closing this section, we've got Angela Rayner, who's being down with the kids, right?
Yeah, very down with the kids. This actually explains why all my Gen Z dates keep asking for Angela, I think. That's a good joke. The headline is, incredible moment, Angela Rayner is seen raving in a DJ booth at Ibiza Super Club as smoke cannons erupt and crowd goes wild. So Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, she's basically been partying, she's been living it up, she's been donning a red dress, inspired by Cressida over here. And she's been seen dancing on stage with celebrity DJ Denise Van Outen. I say good for her. She's a person, she's allowed to party, let off some steam. I mean, you'd never, ever see Keir Starmer approaching a DJ booth. And if he was, he'd probably just ask for a podcast or something like that. It's different.
I'd like to see, Keir Starmer let his hair down a little bit.
Yeah?
Let's have a look. I think we've got the clip of Rayner throwing some shapes. What have we got?
Things will get worse before they get better.
Somehow works better when you intercut Keir Starmer at his podium. The thing is, I don't think it's a story. So what? She's a woman who had a few drinks and danced. What?
Exactly. If she wants to get off her mash on ecstasy pipes, we support that.
Well, she specifically says she wasn't doing that. She says she was just...
Yeah, we have to be clear. She wasn't doing that.
She said she wasn't doing that.
But she was definitely drunk. I mean, she was hammered, right?
Well, so she says that, yes, she's into that sort of thing and coming home at 6 a.m. and being proud of it because she says, yes, I can do it. She's pleased with herself.
She said the Rick and Morty pingers kicked in about 4:30 a.m. She's been gurning ever since.
You know what? I don't think
bless.
this idea. There's a lot of ageism going on here. Why shouldn't she be able to dance in a DJ booth?
Because
actually, it is a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, for that age.
I don't know. I find it a bit... It feels like it was all planned. Because
You think?
This isn't like grainy footage where she was out with her mates in the crowd.
No.
You're in the DJ booth. Of course,
But do you think
she's...
because she's saying she felt like a grandmother, do you think she's too old? Do you think that's ageism? Because I haven't done that sort of thing for weeks.
I think Ibiza's full of people of all sorts of ages doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
I think absolutely fine. Don't have a problem with it. Absolutely not. And Kogan, by the way...
Yes.
Cressida isn't... Like, Cressida can wear a red dress without being compared to Angela.
Isn't it weird, though, that I've done this again? There was another Angela Rayner story when I wore red. I think...
Are you not doing that deliberately? Every time there's an Angela Rayner story, you wear the red dress?
I think I'm summoning her with my
I think
dress.
you are. You're channeling it. When you start calling us all scum, then we'll know that you've become fully possessed.
And you both love getting high.
There we go. We are not alleging anything there.